I'm reviewing here! Ooh, what's up, babies? Babies? Oh, Jesus Christ. Forget that I ever said that. Remind me to never say that again. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of I'm Reviewing Here! A podcast where I, Matthew Bussey, watches and reviews Sight and Sound's top greatest movies of all time. I am such an idiot because, when I first started this podcast, I made the cover art for it on Canva. So good. Everybody use Canva. It's amazing. And on it, I say that I'm watching and ranking the top greatest movies of all time. I haven't ranked anything. I have not once said, oh, okay, I've reviewed 10 movies. What's my favorite? So I really have to go back and change it and tweak that. I mean, really, come on, who gives a crap? I'm sorry, but come on, who cares? I'm looking right now at all the movies that I've reviewed so far, and I'm gonna try and pick a favorite. So there's, I can't count right now, it's too late. Controversial, I know, but I do love Annie Hall. That's probably A Clockwork Orange. No, nothing beats A Clockwork Orange. How about this? So, okay, least favorite in Vonda's Room. Sorry. Just don't even get me started about that movie. Most surprising movie, movie that I'm so happy I saw that I had never heard of. Soleil O, or also known as O Sun. Yeah. I think those two movies are my favorites. Those three. How many did I just mention? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know. I guess ranking though, I shouldn't have said that because ranking just I don't know, gets confusing. It gets annoying. It gives me a headache. It's like at the end of the year when you have to pick. Well, you don't have to, but I like to because I'm a masochist. At the end of the year when you pick your top 10 movies that you've seen all year and your top 10 CDs that you've listened, or CDs, who the hell listens to CDs anymore? Top 10 songs, top 10 books, B.O. Barack Obama always does it every year. It's like that, but I just can't do it. But anyway, what am I talking about? And why did I just refer to Barack Obama as B.O.? Jesus, I sound like I'm in a really bad mood. Guys, I just tried to make... this is a sign that Hashem is punishing me right now because it's Passover week and I'm the worst Jew in the world and I have not really been following the rules that well. I've been eating matzah every day. Matzah, I never know how to say it. I've been eating that every day, but, I have been breaking the rules a little bit and I have been eating some leavened grains. That's what I meant to say. So I tried to make a vegan mushroom omelet tonight with chickpea flour because it leavens. And it totally failed. And I just burned my, electric stove. I didn't burn it, but there's, a big-ass stain there now. And I'm now waiting for my buzzer to go off because I had to put baking soda on it and clean it. And I don't know if it's going to work. And it's so freaking annoying. But I'm not going to let that ruin my night. I'm happy to be doing this. It's been a while. Guys, I've had a really crazy few weeks. It's nuts. No, it's crazy. Really quickly, and then I'll get to today's movie because I am really excited for it. Work has been crazy, but it's always crazy. I, worked this huge week-long event at work, and then I hopped right on a plane and went to Aruba. I can't roll my R's. Aruba with my buddies for 5 days. Yeah, feels like it was forever ago, but it was only last week. And I'm looking at my sunburn right now. I'm starting to peel. It's so disgusting how we peel. We're like snakes. Oh, it's I don't like it. It's gross, and it itches too. Yeah, man, Aruba was really fun, though. I just went completely for fun, vacay, and I highly recommend it. Now, we went to we went to one of those all-inclusive resorts, which, they're fine. You get your money's worth. It's free drinks, it's free buffet food every day. But, there were a few instances where I was like, swimming in a pool where there's a tissue paper floating around. Yeah, that happened twice. That was really annoying. We also went out one night, and I went to take a bite out of my cookie, and a half-dead fly, appeared on my plate. And I got the waitress and was like, oh, can you help me? There's a fly. And all the waitress said was, surprise! And then she walked away and didn't get my plate. Didn't apologize or anything. Oh, brother. Yeah. I met a girl there, too. We're dating now. I met a girl there. My buddy and I went out dancing one night. It was, lame. There was, no one there. Everyone there was, they looked like 17 years old. But there was one girl my age, and we danced for, 2 seconds, and then she looked at me and she went, "You smell like gazpacho," and then she walked off. Excuse me? Gazpacho. I've had gazpacho once in my life. I had it last year in Barcelona, and it was disgusting. Who the hell wants to have cold soup? Who? Who invented gazpacho? Whoever invented gazpacho should be in jail. Seriously. And also, what the heck? Gazpacho. I had just eaten avocado. No, not avocado. I'm sorry. Guacamole, which is made of avocado, mushed avocado. I had like 2 scoops of that because I was starving because it was late at night and I was dehydrated. But yeah, that was pretty funny. Aruba though was a really fun place. I recommend it. We also went We went driving on the ATVs, and I almost that was just amazing. But yeah, you got to wear goggles. Even if goggles cost $100, you buy those damn goggles because you will go blind. Fun night or fun day though, fun trip. We did that, and then I got back and I bought a condo. I keep wanting to say I bought a condom just to be stupid, but it's not funny. People don't laugh when I say that. But yeah, I bought a condo and I've moved in, and it's now my second night there, and I already stained my goddamn electric stove. So yeah, that just shows the type of person that I am. But wow, it's been good. It's just been a whirlwind though. But it's fun though. It's really fun to be back, and I got to get back in the groove of reviewing these things. Another funny story about Aruba though, and then I promise I'll get into today's movie. I could not stop talking about my actual girlfriend, Sydney Sweeney. Yeah, it's true. We're dating. Just that TMZ hasn't gotten to us yet. But I could not stop talking about her. That at one point my two friends literally had to tell me to shut up because they were just like, "Can you please just stop? Please talk about anybody else but her, please." Assholes. I can talk about my girlfriend whenever I freaking want to, so leave me alone. No, I do apologize. I know I just like to piss people off. I also made my non-Jewish Christian friends try matzah because, I spent the first night there. This is also why Hashem is punishing me. I haven't gone to any seders this Passover. I mean, it's very sad, but I wanted to, but I had to go away. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring matzah. I got it on the plane, and I brought it to, Aruba, and it was the first night of Passover. And also in Aruba, there are like no Jews. It's like 98% Christian. I mean, Easter, we left right before Easter, obviously, and they said that was going to be like, Super Bowl day. But, my friends are not Jewish at all. One of them is like a wizard, or what's it called? Who gets ordained in the Presbyterian sect? A minister? I think that's his name. But minister, whenever I hear minister, I think about, the dad from Seventh Heaven, and look what happened to that actor. Oh! Google it. I dare you to Google what happened to that actor. I forget his name. But yeah, they tried the matzo and they tried to be all nice about it. Well, one of them did. The other one of them was straight out just like, "It's dirty and dry. Ew." And I was like, well, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to, this is what the Jews had when they left Egypt. They didn't have time to wait for the bread to rise. I don't get it. Ew. And then she spat it out. And I was like, oh, I hate you and I want to go home. All right. Christ almighty. You know why I'm also kind of like dragging this out, guys, because I have a timer right now and I really don't want the timer to go off. I have to go and clean the stove and I have 38 seconds left. Can I do it? Oh my God, my heart's pounding right now. Now, today we're going to review a really famous silent movie that I really, really enjoyed. I watched a bit of it when I was in college, but I think I fell asleep because, it's college. I didn't understand what going to bed early was. But yeah, really good movie. I really, really enjoyed this one. Today we're gonna be reviewing The Last Laugh. Oh, would you listen to that music, the cadence, the I can't think of any other musical terms because I only took the saxophone for like 2 days and then I couldn't take it anymore. Anyway, it's a heartbreaking story. I used to always want to play the saxophone when I was a kid because it's like a really sexy instrument. Am I right? But I could not blow into it. I legit almost broke my head almost popped open when I did it. When I tried to do it in fourth grade, yeah, it was impossible. I was like, oh, it's hard. It's hard to blow. Am I right? It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to blow. Okay, we'll leave it at that. The Last Laugh, you guys, this is a really remarkable movie. Now, this is a silent movie. I think this is actually the second silent movie that I have reviewed so far that I've been able to find at least. Yeah, very famous movie. This was very critically acclaimed when it came out. It premiered in 1924. It is a German movie. It's a silent movie, but what's very different about this silent movie is that there's no real dialogue between characters. In silent movies they talk and they're like blah, 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 their mouths move and then it cuts to all this, over the top dialogue that people like don't speak like anymore. Yeah. This isn't like that. This is a movie by a very renowned director named F.W. Murnau. And he was a real pioneer, I think, in the German Expressionism movement. Now, what is German Expressionism? German Expressionism is basically a type of film art that was really popular in like silent German cinema days, which was like the 1920s, basically. And the theme, the German Expressionism is all about shadows. It's all about black and white. It's all about big, huge production designs with really impressive shots and just eye-popping visuals, and The Last Laugh is like that. There's a lot of other movies too that come to mind, but what was I saying? Yeah, but the interesting thing about The Last Laugh though is that yeah, it's a silent movie, but there's not like any dialogue in it. There are a few shots where it's like a character reads a letter and you see what's written on the letter. Like there are a few moments like that. But overall, though, this is a completely silent movie, and you know what? I love that about it. I really like that. Got me thinking a lot because you don't. At least in my history of watching silent movies, I don't think there's ever really been one like The Last Laugh. Every silent movie I've seen, there's always dialogue, those little titles that come up. But Murnau, though, what he does here is I think he's just made a very, very genuinely artistic movie. And I really like that about it. This movie, too, the plot of it is shockingly, and I'm not being sarcastic, this is a sad movie, but it's not like oh my god, I want to go drink vodka and jump off a cliff kind of sad movie. It's got a sad movie. It's got a very sad message deep down, but in an odd way though, I wasn't like miserable watching it, and I think that's what's kind of the hopeful thing about the movie. Now I'm going to get to the ending. I did not like the ending of this movie, but I am going to get to why that didn't really bother me that as much as I thought it would, because when I read about the history of this movie, I kind of understood it, but I'm going to get to that. So yeah, The Last Laugh, I don't even think, well, yeah, there is laughing in this movie, but this is overall a drama. It was written by Carl Mayer. Now, Carl Mayer and F.W. Murnau, the director, they worked together a few times. They did this incredible movie called Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans, which is known as like one of the greatest love stories of all time. It's kind of funny to watch right now. It would probably get canceled if it came out in 2023. I don't totally remember what happens in it, but basically, yeah, I think there's a moment where the male lover basically like I think he like tries I can't remember. I don't want to butcher it, but yeah, it's a movie though that's not really it's not appropriate. That the Twitter army would, and BuzzFeed, they would completely annihilate Sunrise if it came out. But yeah, but they did a lot of good stuff, and Carl Mayer too. He also co-wrote The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which I've never seen. This is like one of, if not the most famous example of German expressionist cinema of all time. Never seen it. It's a horror movie too, so I'm surprised I haven't seen it. But anyway, Murnau, though, the director, he was most famous for directing Nosferatu, which is that very famous black and white vampire movie where Nosferatu's the vampire and he's pale and he's got long claws and big teeth and a bald head, and he kind of reminds me a little bit of Edward Cullen. He's even better looking than Edward Cullen, if you ask me. Yeah, he just doesn't sparkle in the sun though. Like diamonds. You're beautiful, Edward. Beautiful. This is the skin of a killer, Bella. You're like my own natural brand of heroin. Oh, Christ almighty. I am a twihard, but the dialogue and the shining. Stephanie Meyer, what is it with shiny things? I don't get it. Anyway, go see The Host, too. The movie The Host. There's also shiny aliens in that. Anyway, there are no aliens in The Last Laugh, and there are no vampires. I'm getting way off topic. Murnau, though, yeah, he's a very famous director. He also did, like I said, he did Sunrise. And he died pretty young, too. He died when he was only 42. But The Last Laugh is really a star vehicle for the lead in it. He is this Swiss-born German actor named, and I hope I'm saying his name right, Emil Jannings, Emil. Jannings. We're just gonna call him Jannings. That's kind of a badass name too. But he was already an Oscar winner. He won, or no, I'm sorry, not yet. He won an Oscar a few years after The Last Laugh came out. But he actually won 2 Oscars for these 2 movies called The Last Command and The Way of All Flesh. He also did this. I do remember this movie, this incredible movie with Marlena Dietrich called The Blue Angel, The Blue Angels. Pardon me. Jannings is amazing in this movie. Now, The Last Laugh, there's not a whole lot of plot in this movie, and that's what I really liked about it. It's also not a 2-hour long, overlong movie, which is really, really good. Basically, and also this is, like I said, it is a very artistic movie, but don't be afraid by that. I know artistic, that scares a lot of people away when you're talking about an artistic film, quote unquote. Jannings, and also in this movie, there are no character names. Jannings plays a hotel doorman. That's all we know. He's a hotel doorman. He works at this very fancy hotel. He is not a rich guy, though. He works, in lower class, and he lives in a very poor part of town. He is, when this movie starts off, he is the happiest guy on the planet. He is constantly grinning at the customers. He just loves everything that he does. He is on cloud 9. He loves it. And, we learn a tiny bit about his family. Now, this actually kind of confused me because I thought it was his wife, but it's not. We see where he lives, and apparently, I don't think he has a wife, but his niece is there, I think, and she's getting married. And that's kind of like the big thing. Like everybody in this building, again, I was a little confused as to whether they were his family or his, just friends and neighbors or whatever. But they're all happy. Everyone is so, so happy. And that's a really big part of this movie. Murnau is really emphasizing, like, everything is heavenly, like he really is stressing that, for the first half of this movie. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Happy guy. What could go wrong? Well, this is movie, and movies are sad. So, of course, this man, the doorman, his life, he gets like smacked in the face, metaphorically speaking, when one day he goes to his boss and his manager, much younger guy. He basically tells him, gentlemen, what would be a good name for a doorman? I don't know. Bill. Let's call him Bill. No, I won't do that. That's stupid. He tells the doorman, okay, so you're getting really old, and due to your age and quote unquote frailty, you are going to no longer be the doorman. You're going to be the washroom attendant. Ouch. I mean, ageism, am I right? Also, age and frailty? I mean, what the hell? Yeah, this manager is a real POS, if you ask me. And the doorman is crushed. Like crushed when he hears this news. Now, Jannings, he overacts. He actually freaks me out a lot in this movie because he's that actor who can really make his eyes huge. Like, I can't do it. But overacted, yeah, of course. But again, it's a silent movie. It's a silent movie. Everybody did that back then. And Jannings is the right guy for this job because he, shows it in his facial expressions alone. I mean, this guy, the doorman, he is catatonic after hearing this news. Like cannot believe it. Can't even move. when he starts to walk, he kind of like hunches over like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and his eyes are wide as he walks. He's like a mummy, he's like death. I mean, it's like the rug was just pulled out from under him, and he is done. And what he does next isn't really the right thing to do, because what he ends up doing is basically lying to his friends. He continues to wear his doorman outfit. And I'm kind of just going to cut right to the end. There are all these scenes of him pretending, and he's losing his mind, and his health is declining, and he's drinking up a storm. I'm going to get to the cinematography in a moment too, because that's what's most famous about The Last Laugh. But cutting a little bit to the end, his friends and family, they basically find out that he's been lying, and that he's been downgraded at his employer, and they hate him for it, and they berate him for it, they chastise him for it, and they yell at him, and they're laughing at him, and he has nowhere to go really except for the hotel, like his one true love, and it's sad. It's a sad movie. It is really sad, and he what happens next is really interesting, though. He goes back to the hotel, not sure where else to go. I mean, he's just, again, he's lost his job, and now he's basically lost his family and friends. And he goes to the hotel, and he goes to the washroom, where he knows he's gonna be working. And the new watchman is there. And, this is kind of a great part of the screenplay. You kind of expect this watchman to be like a stereotypical villain, because, he got the doorman's new job. But he doesn't do that. He's not a baddie in it. You know what he does? He goes to the doorman. The watchman goes to the... Oh, why can't these people just have names? I'm confusing myself. The W goes to the D, and he... No, I sound like a football coach when I say that. The watchman goes to the doorman, and he sees how depressed and sad he is and sleepy, and he, approaches him, and he covers him with his coat as he falls asleep, and he basically says, well, he doesn't say, because there's no dialogue in this, but you can tell that he's just a nice guy, and he is just he basically says, just with his actions alone, you're going to be okay, and I'm sorry about what happened. Now, this is where I don't really like what happens next, but there is a reason for it. There's a title card that comes up where it says the following: "Here our story should really end, for in actual life, the forlorn old man would have little to look forward to but death." Forlorn. Wow, I love that word. The author took pity on him, however, and provided quite an improbable epilogue. So when that came up, I was like, what? Huh? What? Huh? Yeah, the next sequence, which I did not like, and it went on for way too long. But again, I'm going to get into it as to why, Murnau kept it in. So that really weird, like, fake epilogue comes up, because it basically says, well, this is how it should end, but we're going to make it happy. It's like Murnau is literally going, like, why would we want to end it this way? Let's make it happy. So in the next scene, we see these intro titles again of this newspaper, and we read that there was... the doorman, Janning's character, he has inherited a whole bunch of money from a Mexican millionaire named A.G. Money, and this guy died in the doorman's arms in the washroom. And because of that, apparently he ended up inheriting this millionaire's fortune. I mean, what? Ridiculous, am I right? And the last sequence in this movie, it is so over the top, like happy and fake and unbelievable. The doorman is back at the hotel. He's the polar opposite of depressed, and he is hanging out with the watchman, the man who, in the previous scene was very kind and covered him with his coat. They're like BFFs now, and they're hanging out and drinking and eating, and, they go to leave this hotel. And all the other employees at the hotel, they're like, idolizing the doorman, and they're all lined up, and, they're like, oh, he's amazing, isn't he? And, the doorman and the watchman, they get in this carriage, and there's this beggar, this poor person who goes up to them, and the two of them let the poor guy come onto the carriage with them, and they hop away, they gallop away. Well, the carriage doesn't, the horse does. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then they go away, and then the movie ends. Yeah. All right. So, yes, it's a ridiculous ending. I did not like the ending. I would have much preferred it if the movie ended on a very depressing note, because it is a sadly good depressing movie. I think that the screenwriter, sorry, Mayer and Murnau, the director, they're making a big statement here about the lower class. I think they're making a big statement about how hard it must have been back then to be poor and to be in the lower class, and to lose your job like that. I mean, it's not like you're going to always be supported by your family and friends. If you lie or if they find out, you're done. It's bleak as hell, but I kind of like that about it, though. I think it really, really works. Now, in reading about this movie, Murnau and Carl Mayer, the screenwriter, they wanted to keep that. But guess who got in the way and said, no, it's too sad. You got to make it happy. The distributor, UFA. I don't know what that stands for. It was a German distributor. It was distributed later by Universal Pictures in the US, but UFA, they basically said, no, you got to make it happy. You got to change it. And Murnau and Mayer obviously did not like that at all, so they intentionally made a really bad, over-the-top ending, happy ending. That makes no sense. So I think if you know that going in, you can kind of roll your eyes and go, okay, whatever. But, at first I did not know that, but a part of me kind of did, because that inner title where they say, yeah, it should end this way, but we're not going to do that. That kind of gave it away. And I oddly expected that to happen, because movie studios can be a real pain in the butt. I mean, the amount of times that they have done that to these filmmakers, we don't like the ending, you got to change it. And then it comes out and it does badly, and then they end up releasing it on like an unrated disc or whatever, and it ends up doing better. And it's like the directors were like, yeah, like this is what we wanted, and you guys were like, no, and the fans actually liked it more, because so we were right all along. That's annoying. I'm acting like that's happened to me. That has not happened to me at all. I'm not a filmmaker, but I just read about that all the time, and that really annoys me. So The Last Laugh, really, honestly, truly a phenomenal movie. If you forget about, the ending, it's a phenomenal movie, mostly for its style. This movie, the style, the cinematography of it all is amazing. This was the first movie to really use a dolly. A dolly is basically what filmmakers use for like panning and movement shots. So a dolly, like they attach, it's kind of like, imagine like, oh, what's an example? Imagine like a little choo-choo train, but it's safe and it's on tracks and nobody can get, I mean, you could get hurt, you could get hit with it and you might get a bump, but, they attach this camera to a dolly and the dolly goes left and right. And, like in the movies, like when characters are running and the camera's following them, that's a dolly shot. This is 1924, guys. This is Germany. Those weren't big back then. This is pre-Citizen Kane and pre all the big epic Hollywood movies. This isn't even a Hollywood movie. And this was the first movie to use a dolly. I mean, wow. That fact alone earns the movie all the credit it deserves, because that is just absolutely amazing. Dollies, guys, they are used. Any movie you see now, there are dollies, there are panning shots, there are everything in movies. And The Last Laugh was really a big kind of precursor to all of that. All this, the century after of all these movies getting made, The Last Laugh, I think a lot of filmmakers probably looked up to The Last Laugh. A lot of aspiring filmmakers went, wow, I want to make shots like that, I mean, for a silent film, this movie is so cutting edge. Murnau, and also I should mention the cinematographer, his Carl Freund, who I believe, no, he didn't really work with, I don't think he worked with Murnau that much, but he did do a few other movies. I mean, his shots in this movie are so out there. I mean, the opening shot is of the hotel, but it's from the point of view of inside of an elevator, and you see outside the elevator, and you see the elevator going down and down, and you see that, like when you go down an elevator and like you see that little floor, like the what the heck am I trying to say? The thing that's in between floors, when you're going down an elevator and it goes up and you see it, woo, 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 like that. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Just Google what I just said and something will come up. You see that in this, and it's really, really cool. There are a lot of shots here that show you what the doorman is seeing in his head. There is an incredible moment where the doorman, he's depressed. He's just lost his favorite job, and he's walking back home, and he turns around. It's late at night. He turns around, and he's looking at these buildings, and the buildings, this is like a scene from Inception. The buildings are like, it looks like they're falling towards him. It's that illusion that the buildings are falling towards him, and he's just losing his mind, completely. There are a lot of other moments. There's a moment where, he's dreaming, and you see a close-up of his face, and then in the middle of the screen, in his face, you see him dreaming, and him, it's a shot of him going back into his hotel in his doorman outfit, where he loves to be. These all sound like, oh, well, anybody could do that. Yeah, anybody could do that, but not back then. But, Murnau did do it. And he made a really, I keep wanting to use the word eye-popping, but I use that word all the time, and it's so gross, so... He does, though. I mean, every shot in this movie is just so gorgeously done. And Murnau just took so many bold choices with it. It's a lot. Also, the fact that this was all filmed on a soundstage. This was not filmed, like, on a street in Germany. No. This is all a soundstage. That hotel, that was all a set. When you see the shots of it's pouring rain outside, or everyone's walking quickly outside past the hotel, and you can just see the gusts of wind and the debris flying in the air. There's so much detail in every shot here. The mise en scène is just out there. I can totally 100% see filmmakers looking at this film and being, inspired by it. I really, really can. And I really recommend that everyone watches it to really appreciate the fact that this is a movie that came out in the 20s, for crying out loud. And it was this top notch with its cinematography, really see it for that. And also see it for the story too, really see it for the story. There's not a huge story here. It is a very poetic movie, but there is a little bit of economic, what am I trying to say? There is like a bit, there is a bit of an economic statement here. And it was really something. I also found something too. So there is a genre of film in Germany called it's not made anymore, obviously. It's just from the silent era. It's called Kammerspielfilm, yeah. And these were movies that basically depicted lower middle class life in Germany. And there were many other directors, G.W. Pabst, the one who did Pandora's Box, the second movie I reviewed on this podcast, Carl Dreyer, Murnau as well. There were a lot of filmmakers who really showed that. And they showed that class of people. They showed how troublesome their lives were, how difficult their lives were. So there's a lot to unpack in this movie, and I loved it. I really, really did. The ending, I admittedly kind of looked away a little bit during the end because it was just so stupid. But again, I think, look, I just spent I spent like 10 minutes talking about personal matters, but I just spent 24 minutes talking about this movie because, there's a lot to talk about it, there's a lot to say about it. And I'm so happy that I saw it. I really, really am. Now, where can you watch this movie? It's on YouTube. There are a bunch of different versions of it on YouTube, which is not good. I'm going to double check right now. I don't believe it's on the Criterion channel. Checking right now. Criterion channel. No, it's not there, which is really annoying. You guys should not be watching movies like this on YouTube. You can rent it on Amazon Prime for $4.99. Now, I know $4.99. Well, I haven't seen this movie. Am I going to like it? You will like it. If you love movies like me, then I think that you really will like it a lot. So, yeah, check it out. And you know what? Check out do a little research on silent German films, because they are their own genre. They're a genre. It's a genre in and by itself. It really, really is. I cannot talk. You know what the thing is, guys, is that I talk so fast and I get nervous that I'm going to say something inappropriate or curse. I mean, here I have a little bit more freedom, but like I have to give speeches all the time in my job. I'm very open about that, about, just going up to the podium. And I wing everything. And every time I go up and make a speech in my head, I'm always like, don't say fuck, don't say fuck, don't say fuck, don't say fuck. And even here too, I have to do that too, because there's a part of me that's like, just be as I am really honest, but I want to keep it I cannot keep it PG. I mean, also the movies, I cannot keep PG. Here's a movie about suicide. Here's a movie about prostitution. Here's a movie where they have sex. Guys, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for, there is a kids movie coming up that is very famous that I believe is 2 or 3 episodes from now. What I was going to say is, are there kids movies on Sight and Sound's list? But there probably are. I just haven't gotten to them yet. But I got off track again. I'm really off topic again. Wow. It's my new apartment, you guys. I'm happy. And also, can I tell you guys something? When that trailer was playing, it was just actually a clip from the movie. Most of the stain came out of my electric stovetop. I paused it and ran and cleaned it up while that clip was playing, and it went off. I'll quickly say, too, that the sound effects, the restoration of this movie, I forgot to talk about this, is amazing. The music you heard in that clip, but also, I forget the name of who restored it. It's, I forgot to take note of it, but they do a great job too, because, they add so many sound effects in it too, which makes the experience all the more entertaining. Like The Last Laugh is like a perfect movie to see with a live score. The doorman, I don't really get the significance of the doorman and his whistle, but he whistles it all the time. And, they have the sound effect like all the time. Other sound effects too, like there are shots of women, outside their apartment, on their balconies, like hanging up laundry, and they're smacking the quilts with like a stick or something. And you hear that ting, ting, It's really fun. Just a little fun side fact, but it's kind of embarrassing to forget to talk about that and then end with it, because it's like, yeah, let's end with the guy blowing his whistle. I gotta get some sleep. The Last Laugh, check it out. Really, really good. Guys, this has been really, really fun. I'm really happy to be doing this again, because it has been a while. It's been a crazy, crazy few weeks, and this is really fun. I'm so excited to watch the next 2 movies. The second one is by a very prolific, famous Swedish director, wink, wink. I don't know if I gave anything away by saying that, but this is really, really exciting. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to I'm Reviewing Here. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, unless I can't find a movie, which is going to happen. It's going to happen again, and, it's life. That's life. That's my new motto. That's life. So I really hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe and tune in every week. I hope you're liking this. I hope I'm not annoying you too much. I hope I am entertaining you, because life is hard. Life is really, really hard. And yeah, this has been fun. Take it easy. Bye-bye. Happy Passover. Happy last day of Passover. I think happy Passover Eve. I think, yeah, this is on Wednesday. Yeah. Okay, cool. And if you're not Jewish, go Jewish. Be Jewish. Good. Bye.